Today we'll present the 10 biggest and heaviest cruisers of World War II. Without further ado, let's just get started. Number 10. The New Orleans class. These were a class of 7 heavy cruisers built for the United States Navy USN in the 1930s, displacing about 12,663 tons at full load. At around 179 meters in length, they were slightly smaller than earlier treaty classes, but far better protected. Their primary armament of 9 8-inch 203mm guns and 3 triple turrets gave them powerful striking capability against surface targets. Unlike earlier U.S. cruisers, the New Orleans class featured thicker armor belts and improved underwater protection, making them heavier but far more survivable. They played vital roles in the Pacific War, fighting at Coral Sea, Midway, and Guadalcanal, often absorbing severe damage yet continuing to fight. What made them heavy was their emphasis on protection. Several ships of this class were badly damaged and also sunk in action. Number 9. The Zara class. This was a group of 4 heavy cruisers built for the Italian Regia Marina. The first of its class entered service in 1931, displacing around 13,944 tons at full load. They were heavier than many cruisers at that time. They measured about 182.8 meters in length. The main battery consists of 8 8-inch 203mm guns mounted in 4 twin turrets. The Zaras carried thick armor belts and deck armor, making them unusually resilient. This heavy armor is what pushed their displacement higher, earning them a reputation as true heavy cruisers. Their fate came tragically at Cape Matapan in 1941, when 3 of the class were sunk in a single night by British battleships. Number 8. The County class. This was a class of heavy cruisers built for the Royal Navy and Royal Australian Navy, built in the late 1920s to meet the 10,000-ton Washington Treaty limit. By the time they reached full service displacement, however, they grew to about 14,150 tons, making them some of the heaviest British cruisers of the war. At 190 meters in length, they were long, and their primary armament consisted of 8 8-inch 203mm guns carried in 4 twin turrets, supported by secondary batteries, and strong torpedo armament. In World War II, they served in convoy escort, fleet screening, and long-range hunting against German raiders like Graf Spee. What made them heavy was not thick armor, but their sheer size, which allowed them to carry greater fuel reserves and endurance. Number 7. The Deutschland class. The German Deutschland class, often called pocket battleships, blurred the line between heavy cruisers and capital ship. At around 14,520 tons full load, they were unusually heavy for cruisers, especially since they mounted 6 11-inch 280mm guns in 2 triple turrets, armaments far beyond treaty limits. They are 186 meters long. What made them heavy was their battleship caliber guns combined with thick protection for their size. Their unusual hybrid design earned them notoriety, but also revealed limitations in endurance and survivability when faced with multiple opponents. Number 6. The Myoko class. The Japanese Myoko class heavy cruisers were among the most powerful treaty cruisers ever built, entering service in the late 1920s. They displaced about 14,980 tons at full load, exceeding treaty limits in both weight and firepower. At 204 meters long, they were larger than many Western cruisers. Their main battery consisted of 10 8-inch 203mm guns and 5 twin turrets, giving them one of the heaviest gun salvos of any cruisers afloat. In addition to their guns, they carried a formidable battery of torpedoes, later upgraded to the deadly Type 93 Long Lance. They served extensively throughout the Pacific, participating in major engagements from the Philippines to Leyte Gulf. At number 5. The Tone class. The Japanese Tone-class cruisers were unique hybrid designs and were the last heavy cruisers completed for the Imperial Japanese Navy. Displacing 15,200 tons at full load and 189 meters in length, they were large but sleek ships with a striking forward heavy design. Their main battery of 8 8-inch 203mm guns was connected entirely at the bow in 4 twin turrets. What made them heavy was the combination of powerful gun armament, extensive aviation facilities, and a robust hull. In World War II, they served in nearly every major Pacific campaign, including Midway, where their reconnaissance role was crucial. At number 4, the Takao class. The Japanese Takao class heavy cruisers were enlarged and refined successors to the Myoko class, displacing about 15,490 tons at full load. They measured 203 meters in length. Their primary armament was 10 8-inch 203mm guns in 5 twin turrets. Like other Japanese cruisers, they also carried a powerful torpedo armament, later upgraded to the advanced Type 93 long-lance torpedoes. They were considered heavy not only because of their size, but also due to their combination of thick protection and extensive torpedo loadouts. The class fought in nearly every major campaign, from the Philippines to Leyte Gulf, where Maya and Atago were lost. At number 3, the Baltimore class. The American Baltimore class cruisers were the definitive U.S. heavy cruisers of World War II, displacing about 17,273 tons at full load. With a length of 205 meters, they were larger and more powerful than any previous U.S. cruiser class. Their main battery consisted of 9 8-inch 203mm guns and 3 triple turrets, with advanced fire control systems for long-range accuracy. Fast and heavily armed, the Baltimore cruisers were mainly used in World War II as anti-aircraft cruisers to protect the fast aircraft carriers in battle groups from air attack. What made them heavy was not just their size, but their ability to carry vast anti-aircraft weaponry, including 12 Buffers 40mm guns and Oerlikon 20mm cannons. They served extensively from 1943 onward, screening carrier groups, bombarding shore targets, and fighting off kamikaze attacks. Number 2, the Admiral Hipper class. The German Admiral Hipper class were some of the heaviest cruisers of the war, displacing up to 18,500 tons at full load. At around 202.8 meters in length, they were long, imposing ships with powerful silhouette. Their primary armament was 8 8-inch 203mm guns mounted in 4 twin turrets, supported by secondary 105mm and 37mm guns. Designed as commerce raiders and fleet escorts, they operated in the Atlantic and Arctic, including Prince Eugene's famous sortie with Bismarck in 1941. What made them heavy was their thick armor protection, large hull, and advanced machinery, which gave them long range and endurance. Number 1, the Alaska class. The American Alaska class large cruisers were by far the heaviest cruisers of World War II, with a staggering displacement of 34,803 tons full load. Measuring 246 meters in length, they rivaled older battleships in size and presence. Their main armament of 9 12-inch 305mm guns placed them well above ordinary heavy cruisers, giving them near battleship firepower. Officially designated as large cruisers, they were intended to counter rumored Japanese supercruisers and to hunt down enemy commerce raiders. What made them heavy was not just their huge displacement, but also their thick armor, heavy machinery, and vast anti-aircraft batteries. They carried 12 5-inch dual-purpose guns, dozens of Buffers and Oerlikon cannons, and advanced radar systems for fleet defense. Entering service later in the war, USS Alaska and USS Guam supported carriers, bombarded shore positions, and intercepted Japanese forces. Their speed of 33 knots allowed them to operate with fast carriers, yet they lacked the full armor of true battleships. Though only 2 were completed, they remained the ultimate expression of the supercruiser concept, towering above all others in size and weight. With this, we're winding up for today, but stay tuned guys, and we'll see you again in our next video. Until then, bye-bye.